Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today we're going to be doing some harvesting. I haven't been here for a couple of days, so let's get started. So a couple of you are asking me if I use liquid fertiliser on my crops because I'm getting quite a few of them now. No, we don't actually use a drop of liquid fertiliser on any of our crops here. We only use granule fertiliser. What is granule fertiliser? It's always organic. And it's made from animals, basically, blood and fish bone, and we use hoof and bone meal and chicken fertiliser. Fantastic. And they all have different jobs, so depending on what you want to do, but blood and fish bone, if you're unsure, is a fantastic general fertiliser. You can actually see the remnants of the chicken manure on my toms that little Jasmine did. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't you use fertiliser? Wouldn't that give you a better crop? Yeah, it totally would do. It would give me a better crop this year. But we're trying to look to the future. This ground here, this soil, has been really abused. It's 70 years, this allotment has been growing vegetables. 70 years people have been taking from the soil and not giving anything back. Now, I think it's important to leave this allotment in a better condition than I found it. So I'm going to be building this soil so that the people that take over this allotment when I leave, when I retire or whatever it is, they're going to have better soil. They're going to have a better condition than what I got when I got this allotment. The great thing about an allotment is that you're really connected with the people that had it before and the traditions of having an allotment. And I generally think that it is so important to have that. So yeah, like some things I'm planting, like them trees, okay, yeah, I might get a harvest off of them, but I'm doing it so that the people that come next will have a harvest off of them as well, because this is only rented. And I think it's so important to be able to have that sort of community feel down here. Whoops-a-daisy. Another thing that we do to ensure that we have better soil for next year is we fertilise in place, as in we build soil in place like you saw me do with the potatoes the other day, where we leave things to rot on top. And for those of you who sent me them really lovely messages, thank you. My hand's a lot better, as you can see. Almost brand new. Fantastic. It was quite bad. I actually almost thought about going to A&E for a little while, but I actually put some plantain on it. I got a tip that plantain would work. Everything else, every normal medication and things was just not working, so I put some chewed up some plantain, put it on my hand, and it was like someone popped it with a pin and it just completely utterly deflated. So that was amazing. I couldn't believe it myself unless I saw it. Another reason why I really like to have no liquid fertiliser is because it actually damages the ecosystem. I don't know if you guys know this, but my favourite animal is a tardigrade. These are little water bears that are found in the soil, and you actually harm them by putting fertiliser on their homes, and it's not something that they appreciate. So to care about those little water bears, I would rather not use any fertiliser on my crops, apart from things that are going to build the soil and feed the microbiome of my soil. Not that I disagree with anyone using fertilisers. If they want to, go ahead. This is just our personal preference. Now, with this approach, every year you actually get better soil. Every year that you garden will be better. The first year is always a bit rubbish, and I've been doing this approach for years in my garden. Look at these, they're beautiful. They're black opal. Very ripe, those ones. Ooh. And yeah, okay, I did get bitten by a spider. I think most of you are bored of hearing about it now, but that spider is part of this ecosystem and I wouldn't change it for the world. Apart from I probably wouldn't have stuck my hand into its nest again. And okay, this is going to be the worst year that we have here on the allotment. It's not doing too badly, is it? I mean, we've got a lot of food. Someone else also asked why I pick my tomatoes when they're not quite ripe. Well, first off, I quite actually like the bite of an underripe tomato. However, the main reason why we're doing this is because if the tomatoes are green, the birds don't touch them, the slugs don't touch them. I was asked about slug damage. Don't get slug damage as long as they're green. As soon as they start blushing, as soon as they start to turn, well, one of my friends was in the allotment down the way and they lost all their tomatoes. All their tomatoes had big bites out of them because they leave them on the vine to ripen. And although I love nature and I absolutely adore the birds, I don't want to feed them. My favourite tomato. Thank you so much for the people that wrote and helped me out. I do think you are right. I do think this is black cherry. What do you think? Now, this is black cherry, yeah? The reason why the top here is green is because we're having such high heat in this country. We're not used to it. Now, this is black opal, another fantastic variety. You can really see the difference between them when you hold them together. But that's why they've got the green shoulders. It's because the chlorophyll's not breaking down due to the heat. So I shall be growing this every year without fail. At least 5 or 6 plants. Look at those. Now, I'm trying to garden here with absolutely zero chemicals. Like, sometimes there is pest damage, but that's okay because I didn't expect to have 100% of this harvest. In fact, the reason why I planted so many tomatoes was because I was expecting blight, and I thought to myself, if I got this many tomatoes, if the blight comes, it doesn't really matter because I've got this many tomatoes to harvest from. I've also got some in the greenhouse. Now, the greenhouse will help protect my tomatoes from blight because blight is actually travelled on the wind. Oh, so it's really important to have a physical barrier instead of chemicals. And also, I can't remember who said this, but a while ago I was watching probably YouTube, and this is blatantly where I got stung. I was watching YouTube and the person said, if you grow tomatoes in the same way as the supermarket, the same variety as the supermarket, the same way, the same chemicals, and you expect it to taste different, then of course it's not going to taste different, is it? It's going to taste exactly the same because you're not growing them any differently. Now, having an allotment is like having a part-time job. Okay, I am down here. It is now 6 p.m. I am down here harvesting because I haven't been down here and I don't want it to not be watered. Okay, I'm down here for probably about 15 hours. I would struggle to do that if it was the same tomatoes as you got from the supermarket. The thing that makes me excited is that these varieties I'll never try unless I grow them myself. And I'm a big foodie, aren't we all? Some of these are interesting varieties, yes. Some of these varieties I spent forever looking for. In the UK, it is actually quite difficult to find the varieties that you can regularly find in America. So some of these, like Brad's Atomic Grape, took me forever to find. So my main hobby really is collecting seeds and then growing and eating tomatoes. Aren't these beautiful? Look how long these are. I actually found a variety that's quite interesting that I want to try probably next year, called Rapunzel. Rapunzel has these beautiful long cherry tomatoes like these. Aren't these beautiful? Another thing that's great about having an allotment, you get to eat fresh. Oh my god, that's good. And because we haven't had much rain, these tomatoes are amazing. Oh my god, I found it. I found it. It's here. Can you see it? You can see it's fuzzy. That is garden peach. It's growing. I'm so excited. It is a tomato that is fuzzy like a peach. Who wouldn't want that? Like, you can't see how fuzzy it is. Oh, you can. Slightly. Oh my god. I'm so excited about this. I'm going to protect this with my knife. These are golden currants. Aren't they cute? Jasmine loves this variety. Ooh. I disturbed something in there. So this is full of life, this is. Chloe's chilly there too. This is where the garden starts to come alive. These ones are Reese's, aren't they cool? They have an amazing story behind them. They're called the Traveller tomato because each section is sealed off from each other, so you can actually eat one section without disturbing the other. Look, they get really big. These are all my mostly determinate currant varieties, so you can't trim them. They are huge though. I should have spaced them out. Check out this tomato. Isn't it beautiful? Not sure what it is until it ripens. It's beautiful though. This one, I personally think even more beautiful. Look at that. It's gnarly. We were completely out of cucumbers, and this is from our little small patch cucumbers. All of them tomatoes as well. Absolutely awesome. See these little peppers? I've just made a massive pot of salsa, so we are low on tomatoes and peppers. My days, you have to see this. Look at this. How big that is. Oh, it's gonna come off. Look at that. That is huge. Shame Desi's not here. Oh, and then baby one, we'll leave that. Look at that funny looking one there. Looking great. And you can see, remember, none of this has fertiliser on it. Liquid fertiliser, I mean. Absolutely streaming. There is no peppers here that don't have abundancy. Remember, this is first year. First year is always the worst year. All of these little snack peppers for Jasmine. Oh no, snack. These are chilies, aren't they? Those. We had those in our salsa. Look at them. And they're covered. Absolutely covered. It's all about abundance. This time of year is all about abundance. Look at that. Now, I will let these grow on a little bit because there's no point in pulling a load. Well, I've just used a load today. And we're not going to have any peppers tonight for din-dins. But look at them. Absolutely covered. Once again. Look at that. Everywhere you look is peppers. Now, one thing you've got to do, make sure you're weeding. But look, more massive peppers. Fantastic. Look at that. You can't get more tomatoes. That's more tomato than leaf, isn't it? Tomatoes everywhere you look. massive abundant tomatoes. Fantastic. Like, can you not see all the tomatoes? They're just, some of them